Hey guys, welcome back to the news desk here on INeedComics.com, part of the Pop Culture Network. I asked last Saturday during the news desk toy update whether or not you guys would like to see a change to the news desk. And I'm going to ask this all week long and get feedback from everybody. A couple people had suggested that maybe we should combine everything together, comics, video games, toys, pro wrestling, whatever, into one news desk show, but we do the news desk show many times throughout the week. So right now I do the show 3 times a week. One is comics, one is video games, one is toys. They thought might be a good idea to just do it 3 times a week, but talk about, whatever those 3 times. There might be more toy news, but still talk about comics if something big on comics happens to happen on Saturdays. Things like that. So let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to just send me a tweet on Twitter. You can come by popculturenetwork.com, join the forums. You can also leave a comment underneath the video. Now, let's get into some of the comic book news that's happening. And first up, we do have numbers from Diamond regarding reorders. Now, some people ask, what are reorders? Well, basically, it's exactly what it sounds like. When you order a comic again. When retailers sell out of a comic and they decide to order more, you get a reorder code from Diamond for that book. And they've released some information about their top reorders for the beginning of February. And amazingly enough, one of the first books listed is Avengers Assemble. Now, Avengers Assemble came out with a digital code. The digital code could be used to download a copy online. As it turns out, enough paper copies sold out that they reordered more paper copies, despite the fact that it's marketed around the idea that you can go online and purchase a copy if you want to. So it looks like paper is still trumping digital at this point. And along with that, we also have listings for Avengers vs. X-Men 1 with digital code. It's not out yet, but they've decided to up their print numbers, retailers ordering these comics. Also, the Ultimate Comics Spider-Man number 8 with digital code has been reordered higher. So these are paper comics that the digital comics are coming out as well, and the paper copies they want more of. So it looks like, for the time being, people afraid of digital, you don't have to worry a whole lot. Except, a blog post this weekend pointed out the fact that a lot of the Marvel comics that are being released digitally on pirated websites appear to be pre-press editions of the books. Sometimes they have words in the wrong spot, sometimes they have fonts not coming through correctly, sometimes the credits on the covers are not the same as the credits on the final edition of the book when it comes out in print and on Comixology. So, what's the reason for this? Well, it originally looked like these may be pre-press editions. Editions that are going to the printers, and the printers are taking those digital files and somehow pirating them out. Now, as soon as that speculation seemed to hit, however, they found some sort of flaw in the Marvel digital setup. Now, of course, they didn't release exactly what the flaw is or how it worked, because they didn't want to give people ideas on how to make this happen in the future again. But it says that Marvel has plugged this particular hole. Now, there are still other holes. You can still pirate Comixology. You can pirate off graphically. You can do screen prints. I hear the iPad version is very easy to hack and to pull those files out of. Android may be the same way, I'm not sure. So there are other security flaws that need to be covered, but it looks like this one, for now, has been plugged. The family of Edgar Rice Burroughs is actually suing Dynamite Comics for their use of, Lord of the Jungle and Warlord of Mars. They're saying the John Carter and Tarzan stories, they still own certain copyrights to them. Dynamite has not been paying them the royalties. Dynamite says they're in public domain, they can do whatever they want with them. So it's going to be an interesting squabble to see what exactly the fallout is from this storyline. Justice League Doom had their premiere this past weekend, and one of the key things that leaked out is Andrea Romano, who is one of the dialogue casting agents, I guess you would say. She finds the voice actors to come in and do the voices. She let loose that they are working on the animated version of The Dark Knight Returns, the classic Frank Miller story that pretty much redefined Batman for a generation. They are working on an animated version of that. And it'll be interesting to see what the art style is, since his art style is actually very specific, very particular, and key to the overall success of that storyline. And finally, last piece of news here is that Archie Comics is continuing their series of coming up with gimmicky stories instead of stories people want to read. This time they're bringing the Occupy movement to Riverdale. Now, I'm assuming because this is Archie Comics and it's in Riverdale, you're not going to see any of the murders, the rapes, the rioting, or looting that seems to come along with the Kill the Pigs Occupy movement. But hey, maybe... Veronica's dad will finally have to spread the wealth in a nice socialist manner. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the news today. Here's a look at some of the comics that are coming out today. DC's heavy hitter Bane returns this week in Batman the Dark Knight, and Supergirl makes an appearance in the latest issue of Superman, where Superman goes bad. Other Justice League mainstays, Flash and Aquaman, are out this week, as well as the Justice League Dark title, with everybody's favorite Dead and Dark Magic characters. Two of my personal favorite books of the New 52, I, Vampire and Savage Hawkman, are both coming out today. Two of Marvel's biggest books out this week, Ultimate Comics Spider-Man #7 with digital code, and Deadpool 51 continuing the Dead storyline. Avengers fans get 3 Avengers books this week: Avengers Academy, Avengers Solo, and Secret Avengers, this one starring Venom. X-Men fans, on the other hand, will be left with no money of their own this week after picking up Uncanny X-Force, X-Men, Wolverine and the X-Men, New Mutants, and X-Men Legacy. Boom Studios' only actual comic book out this week is the latest issue of Incorruptible, a title which you should be reading. If you're not, shame on you. IDW has licensed goods for all you retro fans. We've got the latest issue of Cobra, part of the G.I. Joe universe, the latest issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the new Transformers Robots in Disguise issue #2. All of them available with multiple covers. Image fan favorites Morning Glories and Chew are both available this week, as well as the first issue of Mondo, the new series from Ted McKeever. There are plenty of other comics available this week. Make sure you check out shoppcn.com to purchase all of your favorites.